Welcome back to Girl at the Con, and today we are talking about UCSD's Anime Fest. This is definitely a con where I was trying to shoot stuff at the convention so that I could get it out a little bit faster, and it didn't necessarily work. As I have mentioned, or I will mention in other videos where I did this technique, I tended to not shoot as much of me talking about the convention, and so they tend to be really short videos. But this one, I think I did talk a decent amount with.
It's free. Just had to fill out a registration form, sign a waiver, and I was in. And you get a raffle ticket, and then you can go and fill out more stuff and get other raffle tickets. So I've done all that, and I've got my 3 raffle tickets in. So I met up with my friend Elisa and her friend, and we had hit the floor, which isn't very big. It definitely, given the size of vendors, it could definitely be larger. But it is pretty nicely sized for the size of event that it is. Then they have a lot of different things you could go to. We went to Kahoots, which is sort of a trivia thing. There's Jeopardy, which is also a trivia thing. And hit a couple of panels. The panel topics are edging on the kind of heavy to the really weird. So the first one I went to was first panel of the day. I kind of stepped in, did 5 minutes there, was like, yeah, no, I can't do this because it was just very awful, for lack of a better thing to say. Then I caught the tail end of Jeopardy, went over to the panel about sort of tourism and anime, and that was very interesting, although I don't think it was properly named right, it was more about a specific fandom and the tourist industry that popped up around it. But the gentleman was very interesting, and I enjoyed that. Then the next one was about sort of the history of fan fiction, which I super enjoyed. So after that, what did we do after that? Then I think we went to Kahoot's store. That definitely got some food. It's called the Price Center, and it is basically like the student union. So we have there's 2 food courts, a couple of theaters, some meeting rooms. It's just all sorts of stuff in one place. If you've ever been to a college, you know what I'm talking about.
So, next thing that we are about to do is called Kahoot. It is trivia, my friend behind me says.
It is a trivia game.
It is a trivia game. I'm looking forward to this. I've never quite done this before, so this ought to be fun. We have just gone back from doing another tour of the exhibit hall, or I should say the vendors hall. And yeah, that was something. See pictures here. All right, see you inside. want to say that some of the performances were really good. We ended up watching the Masquerade, which was just a walk-on, walk-off sort of event. But there were some really good ones, although my favorite, I think, got robbed, but we won't talk about that. There was also some bands performing. To talk about this particular thing that they had at the UCSD Anime Fest. They have this box where you can charge your phone. You open it up, plug your phone in, close it, and you'll set like a personal PIN code. And it just keeps it locked in this little box. I tried to get a shot in the little window so that you could see the phone like in there, but I couldn't angle it right. The box was attached to the wall. It wasn't going anywhere. But I've also been at other conventions for work where they will bring in the boxes. And sometimes it spits out like a little card key that you carry with you. I did that at another convention. It spit out a card key, and after I think like 20 or 30 minutes, the card key would like buzz and produce a little message just like, don't forget your phone, and stuff like that, which I thought was kind of neat. In this case, you just kind of have to remember your phone. I did see somebody run up to one of the machines that I was using to charge my phone and was like, jamming his pin in because he clearly had somewhere to be and forgotten his phone and was very upset at himself. It was very cute. But they're really good if you can find them, if your convention that you go to has one. If not, bring battery packs. In this particular case, I was traveling light, so I didn't have any of my battery packs, so I threw my phone in. But again, just a wonderful little thing. You just charge it up for a little bit. That was there were two. One of them was broken, just didn't work at all. And when I asked about it, they were like, oh yeah, we're going to a state school, so of course nothing's been done. And then I went to another one that was working perfectly fine. So it was just, luck of the draw in that case. It was all in all just a really good convention for a one day held by an anime club on a college campus. I really, really want to encourage everybody to look at your local colleges and see if they have an anime club and if their anime club does anything like this. Usually, if they do, it's usually free. It's usually like on a Saturday, just a one-day thing, and you can go, and they're really good at reaching out to the local shops. So you get a lot of really neat local shops, a lot of neat local artists. I met a couple there that I knew from other conventions that I had seen at other conventions, and then I met them and got to really interact with them and had just a great time. Thank you so much for joining us for UCSD Anime Fest. It really was fun. I highly recommend going to find out if a college is doing it and do an one-day anime convention or comic book convention or whatever at your local college. They do tend to be quite a lot of fun. And the panels tend to be really interesting because they're put on by college students who are in the midst of doing like a lot of research for stuff. So you can get some like crazy well-researched topics, such as the one that I mentioned that was all about the history of fan fiction. It was just so well researched. I really hope I can catch that at another convention, because she does do, I've seen her before. We do a lot of the same conventions, so I'm hoping I can see her do that at another convention, because it was just so fascinating. Thank you again so much for joining us. I've seen such an amazing amount of growth this year in 2025. And I mean, we're barely into 2025, and I've already had 8 new subscribers and a ton of watch hours. And I want to thank you all so much for doing that. So please continue to like the videos, subscribe if you haven't already, interact with it by, either giving it a like or leaving a comment. I hope to see you in the next one, and just thank you all so much. Have a great day.